All right, well, good morning, everyone. MixedTV.tv. We are here at the Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce for what's become an annual event with TVFCU. It's the Idea Elite Grant Kickoff event, and I'm joined by the TVFCU Marketing Director, Kim Gunter. And Kim, I'm a little bit Ricky Bobby right now.
Oh, yeah.
I'm used to normally I don't know what to do with my hands. So
You're doing great. That's
our
good.
producer, Gideon Ratcliffe, has these newfangled technologies. So anyway, I think we're on the air. But Kim, my goodness, here we are again. Look at this.
It's so exciting. I love this time of year. It is time to start thinking about making some dreams come true for entrepreneurs in our community. So it's the kickoff.
It's the big kickoff at the Cleveland Bradley Chamber. So tell us what's going to happen here this morning, what we can expect as we're going to be watching it live.
All right, so we have another year where we are giving some big money to small businesses in the community. So what we're going to be talking about this morning is when applications open, who's eligible, what sort of small businesses should apply, what the whole idea of the program is. We're going to hear from a past winner. And then at the very end, we're just going to be encouraging everyone to, if you're a small business, apply. And if you know a small business, you need to apply.
Let me tell you, it has been amazing the last, let me ask you this. So it's been, I think, 2 years that we opened it up, or did the different areas, is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, we used to cover all the area with one pitch competition, and 3 years ago now, we were like, let's have a pitch competition just for businesses of the Ocoee region. And we've made the money even bigger, and it's getting better every year. And we've got some surprises in store for this year, too.
I was going to say, there will be a new wrinkle. And so we'll tell you about that during the press conference portion of the announcement portion here of this event. Let's talk about TVFCU for a moment. Just overall, I mean, look, you guys are so good at what you do, but you deal with people personally, and it ain't cookie cutter. And I know this. It is a very definite, customized plan for people when they come to you, isn't it?
Oh, that's exactly right. And it's true in everything we do because we are not for profit and locally owned. So, our headquarters are right here in Southeast Tennessee. So we're making decisions that are the best for our member owners and the best for the entire community.
And small business. So how important is that to TVFCU?
It's everything to the backbone of a community. And so that is why we do these grants, because we know that by making small business owners and the entrepreneurial economy stronger, we're making our entire community stronger. And that's why we do what we do with the grants and why we give away big money. We know it comes back to this community and to TVFCU tenfold.
All right, so again, at about 9 o'clock maybe?
Yep.
About 10 or something like that, about 9 o'clock, we'll have the big announcement, so you're going to want to stay tuned here. But I know we've got some guests that we're going to speak with here this morning.
Yeah, we have a lot of good people here this morning that really care about small business in our community, so we want to grab some of them and let them talk about that.
All right, first up, leadoff hitter, the Ricky Henderson of this event is Adam Lewis, who's representing Bradley County government.
Good morning, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I don't know, because now you do so much, you wear so many hats. You're trying to keep up with Josh Rogers, who wears about 10 hats, but you...
Nobody can keep up with Josh Rogers.
No one, and no one wants to. But no, you, on the other hand, here in this capacity, I believe, representing Bradley County and the mayor's office.
Yes, sir.
So what does an event like this mean, and what TVFCU is doing for small business, giving literally hundreds of thousands of dollars away?
Well, small businesses are so important to a local community. I think the big industries that come in, the big job announcement numbers are what get a lot of the press, and they're important. I don't want to diminish those. We're excited anytime we get to make one of those big announcements, or the state does. But statistically, small businesses make up the majority of the employment numbers in a community, and so it's very critical that you have organizations like this, like TVFCU, who are willing to invest capital in thriving businesses. It's an exciting process. This is not the first time that they've done it. You can go back and look at some of the winners and some of the finalists and see how successful they are even today. And so it's incredibly important that you have an opportunity like this as a small business owner, but more importantly, it's an amazing opportunity for the community to focus on small businesses.
And I was talking to a friend of mine who owns a business this week, and he said to me, this is such a great time to be in business in Bradley County. It's just such a wonderful time. Is that what you're hearing right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in local government, we do our best to create an environment where people want to live, work, and raise a family. And that second aspect, work, involves running and owning a business. In my opinion, government doesn't do a lot of things well. The best thing we can do for a small business owner is to get out of the way. And I think both the city and county governments have done a really good job of attracting not just those large industries like I mentioned, but these local small businesses to create an environment that's right for them to thrive and grow in what they do.
Yeah, because how important is it, in your opinion, for Bradley County to be known as business friendly and really specifically small business friendly? Like you said, as I see our buddy Doug Barry over there, I mean, it's like these big announcements are wonderful.
Yeah.
And we have to have them.
Yeah.
But the lifeblood, the core, are small businesses. And so how important is it for Bradley County to be known as small business friendly?
It's incredibly important. Like I said earlier, I mean, the majority of jobs that are available in Bradley County and in Cleveland are from small businesses. So as a local government, the last thing we want to do is hamper that. I think from a consumer standpoint, as well as someone who's involved in local government, the possibilities and the pluses, if you will, are nearly endless as far as what that looks like in a positive light for a community like ours.
Okay, so we've talked about your hats earlier. Let's take one hat off and put another one on.
All
So
right.
Adam is the Cleveland Bradley Emergency Medical Service Director. Am I right?
Bradley County EMS.
Bradley County EMS. I knew I'd mess that up. Anyway,
That's
no kidding. Hurricane Helene. So
Yes.
earlier, I think on Tuesday, at our relief rally, we talked about, you gave us an update about some of your brothers and sisters in western North Carolina, the first responders,
Right.
Northeast Tennessee. Today's Thursday, obviously. What have you heard in the past 48 hours from these people?
You know, they continue to need help and need support, especially these agencies that in some cases, you know, let's talk about EMS. There are counties and services in Northeast Tennessee who literally lost every ambulance that they have to operate in their county or in their community. And so whether it's sending them a truck to borrow or sending crews to work in those areas, I think that the recovery is going to take a long time. I've seen, and many of you probably have seen on social media, these the maps showing some of the road closures and the interstates and these main thoroughfares that have been shut down and will be shut down into next year, this time next year. That's a huge impact to any community, and especially when you look at it from a regional standpoint, that's going to affect a lot of people, how they get to work, how they get to school, commerce, and transportation in the region. And so from a first responder standpoint, those agencies, whether it be EMS, law enforcement, fire rescue, are all going to continue to need outside support until they can themselves get back on their feet. And you got to also consider they live in that community. Their homes, their families, their friends are impacted. It's not just a job that they go to and work. They are themselves being impacted by this as well.
Well, keep us updated, and if there's anything we can do from what you're hearing, because obviously this community has really stepped up in so many different ways.
Well, thank you, if I can, just for what WCLE has done in the last few days with what you did and pulled off on Tuesday. We were talking about it before off the air. I mean, to have sort of started the ball rolling on a Sunday afternoon and then, really accomplish what happened on Tuesday. Again, I said it Tuesday morning. It's unfortunate that it takes a tragedy or a natural disaster to see what Cleveland and Bradley County can do as a community, but man, do they show up time and time again.
It's that volunteer spirit.
Absolutely.
Honest to
Go
goodness.
Vols.
Go Vols. Yeah, this Ohio State fan now says go Vols. Let's just be honest here. All right. Hey, buddy, thanks so much,
Thank you.
Adam. Thanks for what you're
Appreciate
doing.
you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, never touch me again. Okay, Kim Gunter, let's come back over to you here. We're live at the
Hello.
Cleveland Bradley Chamber of Commerce, and I believe we've got another guest. Is that right?
Oh, yes. Lynn McCleary is the director of the Polk County Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, Lynn.
And, there were some great winners from Polk County last year, this grant program. Yeah.
What a year we had last year. Yes, the Ocoee region, Lynn, was so well represented.
They did a fantastic job, and And I think it was enlightening people to see the variety of businesses we have. Not your standard, not necessarily a lot of industry with the parking lots and manufacturing, but definitely a lot of varied industry.
You had to be, you had to be proud. I was proud of them. And honestly, we became friends with all of them. I believe one of your Ocoee River Farms, I believe, won the whole thing.
They did.
I mean, and honestly, one of the beautiful things about this TVFCU Idea Leap grant is that a lot of us learn. We didn't know about some of these.
We have right here in our backyard.
Exactly. We didn't know that.
Yeah,
Isn't that wonderful? The awareness is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. It is. The awareness, the exposure. The year before, Rod's Rock and Rolls was one of the finalists. And, he brags every day about the exposure. He said, the money was fantastic, very helpful. But he said the exposure is what has benefited his business so much.
Yeah, it goes on and on.
Yes.
I mean, it really does.
He's got the little sticker on the window, and people come in and say, "Oh, you were Idea Leap." And, the knowledge of the program is growing, too.
Well, let's talk about your Polk County Chamber. What's the latest? What's going on besides all of this?
Well, things are supposed to slow down after Labor Day, but they're not slowing down. I'm headed from here to another meeting here just shortly, but it's fall foliage time. Leaves are changing, and we've got a beautiful drive up the Ocoee Scenic Byway. Come down through Copper Basin, have lunch at Rod's, and make a circle loop there, and come down to Hiawassee. The train is running. I believe the train has got a couple of extra excursions this year for the fall season. So.
Good. Well, you do such an incredible job. And let me ask you, Lynn, if people want more information about your Chamber of Commerce, what should they do? How can they find out?
OcoeeCountry.com.
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 Speaking of Ocoee, so before I came here, of course, we were on the air in our studios this morning. I had Ruthie Forgy, who heads our Salvation Army here in Cleveland. So Salvation Army partnering with Ocoee Outdoors to take, they call Ruthie, I guess a couple days ago, said Western North Carolina needs diapers, formula, and baby wipes and baby supplies.
Yes.
So I want to repeat, Ocoee Outdoors is teaming up.
I think it's Ocoee. Is it Ocoee Outdoors or Ocoee Adventure Rafting?
Maybe it's Ocoee Adventure Rafting.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe I'm wrong. And hey, I usually am. But,
and then, if they can't find the right spot, bring it to our office, and we'll be happy to take it wherever. We just partnered with the FFA program at Polk County High School, did a student-teacher-led drive, and I think they headed out this morning to Newport to the FFA up there.
Great. And so Salvation Army are going to have a big drive, as we announced this morning, at Peerless Road Church here in Cleveland tomorrow. During our morning show from 7 to 9, they're asking for diapers, wipes, and baby formula, baby supplies. But Western North Carolina, right there in your backyard.
It is.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, just right there.
Right there. It's great seeing you.
You too.
And what a great event this is.
We are excited. Last year when we got word about the 5 finalists and 4 of the 5 were Polk County, we had a board meeting that day. And I went into the board meeting and I said, I feel like a proud mom today. That's how it felt to see our local small businesses with that recognition. I felt like that proud mom wanting to show off their baby picture.
And I see a couple of our friends from Treehouse Mountain back here. We're going to talk to them in just a second. Thanks, Lynn.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, here he is, and you're going to see the mayor of Cleveland, Kevin Brooks, out. Come here, Mayor.
Stephen.
He is celebrating the fact that Johnny Cash got a statue at the Capitol.
Yes.
This is good.
I hope you enjoy the Ring of Fire.
Oh, come on.
There you go.
First of all, Mayor, before we talk about why we're here, TVFCU Idea League Grant, you and I were together Tuesday at Life Care.
We were.
And received the results from Operation Compassion that in those 3 hours, 18 pallets of water, 16 pallets of food and supplies, and oh, by the way, $25,000 came in. It's still coming in. What a community.
Well, it truly does show and showcase that we are the city with spirit.
That's right.
And then the next day, Cleveland Fire, Cleveland Police teamed up at Food City and took in another huge tractor trailer full of wonderful supplies. So I'm thrilled that every day we continue to have donations coming in, because every day we're seeing more and more devastation just to our north.
Yes.
Our family spends a lot of time in Upper East Tennessee and in the Asheville area, and to see these places that we're very familiar with just gone. It truly is. Councilman Webb has family in Irwin. And so you see the hospital, and you think we've got to get these people all the help we possibly can. So thank you, Cleveland.
Well, the reason we're here, though, is...
TVFCU, place for all of us.
Oh, man,
Here we are.
he wants to join Karen Mills
Please.
on those commercials. Hey, what an unbelievable program this is.
You know, the Idea Elite grants, what they've done for small business, Rod's Rock and Roll,
Yes.
in Polk County, Biscuit Envy, Direct Primary Care, Burnside Insurance.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, the ability for these small businesses to get a leap up from this program, they use this word too often. Shelton says it's a game changer.
It is.
Sorry, Shelton.
Yeah, well, don't be sorry for him. Hey, so yeah, this year now they're going to have the announcement. Check my clock here. We're getting real close to it, just any minute. So they're going to have the announcement. Yeah. They're going to give all the details, but I think it's so important, Mayor, that there's this pile of money. The small businesses have to actually apply, though. I mean, they got to get involved.
Well, and I love the fact, too, that we have the Idea Elite grant that we're here to announce this morning. But in addition to the grants that you have to apply for, if you're a small business, if you're up and coming, if you're emerging, TVFCU has Idea Elite loans.
That's right.
So if you don't have the ability to apply and win the grant, there's always the ability to apply and win this loan or achieve this loan.
Sure.
And again, small business, in a few months we'll have Small Business Saturday. It's incredibly important that we support small business in our small community. Yes, we've got stuff for the big guys, the big industries that come. Small business is our bread and butter. And I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to support it.
I talked to Adam, representing the county. I know.
Sorry.
I know. I understand, and I agree with you. But I talked to him and I said, you know, how important is it for Bradley County to be known as small business friendly? I'll ask you the same thing. How important is that for the city?
It is everything. For us to be small business friendly, and we do the shop local, support local, every chance we get. I see you're wearing the town squire.
The town squire. I'm full town squire today, man.
And it's incredibly important. Small business, locally owned, locally operated. It is what makes Cleveland great.
All right. Mayor Brooks, the man in black. Let's sing a little, let's see, a little... Ring of fire. Just get out, it's over. All right.
Down, down, down.
Oh, Kim Gunter. Yeah, that was pretty good. Get out. Kim Gunter. We've got, I believe, one more guest. We're
That's
getting close
right.
to this announcement here.
We're about to start, but I wanted to let you talk to Marcus K. Johnson.
Marcus!
Mr.
Good
Ideally.
morning.
My man. I saw you on TV with James Howard. Listen, I'm a lot nicer. Actually, James is the nicest man in the world. So anyway,
James is awesome.
listen, buddy.
Yeah.
We're excited. It's about to hit here, this announcement.
Year 8, we are very excited about it. Anything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. It's the best part of the job, right? Whenever you can give away free money and make folks happy, it's always a good time, man. So we're excited to be here.
I've told you, Kim, and you folks and your staff for years that since you've been doing this, you really at TVFCU, you put your money where your mouth is. You
Yeah,
really do.
literally. Yeah, literally. And the program has grown quite a bit, right? I mean, this is our 3rd year being in the 3-region model, so being hyper-focused on making sure that we're investing our dollars into this region. And we've had some great success with it. So we're excited to give out another $75,000. Top prize is $30,000, second prize is $15,000, and then 3 $10,000 grants. Wouldn't you want $10,000?
Come on, let's do it. Hey, sign me up. Sign me up. Gideon said yes to it. He'll take some.
We'll do it.
This is TVFCU, but then Mayor Brooks just made a great point too. Yes, the Idea Elite grant, the contest is great, but you guys do Idea Elite loans, I believe. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, absolutely.
For small
Our
business?
Idea Elite loan program. And the cool part about this is that we learned so much about the winners during this process that it's much easier than to come in on the back end and really have that financial discussion, right? So if you win the $30,000 prize, but you have a $50,000 or $60,000 project, well, we're already acquainted with you now because you've gone through the long process of the grant.
That's true.
But outside of that, yes, our Idea Leap loan program is for startup and early stage businesses. So we define that by any business that hasn't been in existence for at least 5 years, right? So literally from in your brain to generating revenue, we can kind of step in and help you get that startup capital via the SBDC here in Cleveland, Virginia to 3.
All right. Our buddy Marcus K. Johnson, and what's the K stand for?
Cade.
Cade.
Yeah.
I can't hear that. I've been on radio too long. Marcus, it's a pleasure seeing
Thanks
you.
a lot, man.
Thanks.
Really appreciate
God
it.
bless
Thank you for your support.
All right, so I see Kim is in position, so we're going to turn things over to them.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hello. All right. Thank you all so much for being here today. We are incredibly excited about our 8th annual Idea Leap and our 3rd time for money specifically in this community. I'm so glad each of you are here. You are here today because we need your help sharing this message with really deserving small businesses and entrepreneurs. Today we're going to hear from some people about what to expect this year, what sort of businesses are eligible, and a special announcement about what's going to be a little different in the Ocoee Region Pitch Competition. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to our Vice President of Business Services, Mr. Tommy Nix.
Thanks, Kim. Thank you guys for coming out. I really appreciate you being here. Kim mentioned 8th annual. It is definitely our 8th one, but technically it's not the 8th. It's not been 8 years. We flipped from the fall to the spring, so we don't have quite that much leg under us, but we're excited to be able to bring it again, to have Idea Leap for this area, for the Ocoee region, and really, really excited to talk about some of the changes that we've made this year and where we're going with Idea Leap. Just to give you a little bit of history, again, 8th time we're doing this, we have invested a little over $700,000 in small businesses through the Idea Leap grant program. And we use that term investment specifically because we do believe it's an investment. Yes, it's a grant. The only responsibility the business has is probably taxes if they're making any money. It is an investment, and we believe that high tide rises all boats. So if we can make that business a little bit stronger, we can make the community a little bit stronger. And we've been blessed to be able to do that, like I said, through this 8th grant. We started prior to that with our Idea Leap loan program, which is a kind of a micro loan program for small to medium-sized businesses. And to date, we've lent a little over $7 million in that program to 225 unique businesses, which is also an investment back in those businesses and helping the community grow. So we're really excited about that impact. The other thing I'm most proud about, particularly with the grant piece, is we have awarded grants to 54 businesses through the 8 years. 53 of them are still in business. 53 out of 54 are still in business. That's pretty phenomenal. There's a caveat. The one that's not in business, she was here from Canada. Her name was Norma Maloney. She had a business called Lodabar. She was one of our winners our very first year. Norma decided to go back to Canada. So she just closed up her business and went to Canada. It wasn't like her business failed. She just decided to go back home, basically. So we could really argue 54 out of 54, but we won't do that. 53 out of 54 is pretty good. And we're looking forward to investing in 15 more businesses this year. We will do our 3 regional competitions again. 5 businesses in the Ocoee region will be selected to participate in the pitch competition with the top prize of $30,000. So really, really excited about that. And just really appreciate y'all being here. The point of this is for you guys to get the word out. We're starting a little bit earlier than we have in years past. So we want to make sure that we get the word out, that applications are opening, and we'll talk about that. I won't steal anybody's thunder. Usually we have that happen a lot, so we won't do that today. We'll let everybody kind of keep to their script. But really excited about being here, and there are a few folks I need to recognize before we move on to some of the details, and I'm going to start with, where's Jessica Buckin? Jessica's over there. Jessica works with us in the Business Commercial Services team. It's kind of like we really feel sorry for her because she has to put up with us, but she pulls all of this off and makes all of this happen, and just can't tell you how much we appreciate what you do for us, Jessica. So thank you much. I think she deserves another round of applause. And then Dion Jenkins. Dion stands right there. Dion is our head judge, our judge extraordinaire, our judge wrangler, whatever term you want to use. She does a phenomenal job. And I don't know if you know, but we have, in each of the different regions, we have 10 semifinalists. And that means that they go and visit those businesses. They do a site visit. There's also 3 different sets of judges. There's a set of judges for Northwest Georgia, there's a set of judges for the Ocoee region, and there's a set of judges for the Chattanooga area. Dion has to wrangle 30 site visits between 20-something judges. I'm not a math person, but I believe that the variables with regard to that are pretty wild. So Dion, thank you so very, very much. We really appreciate what you do. Dion's been involved in the program since its inception. She's one of our biggest supporters for ID Elite, and just really, really appreciate what she does for us. So I think Dion deserves another round of applause. And then we got a few of our judges with us. I'm not going to introduce everybody, but if you're a judge with TVFCU ID Elite, please raise your hand. And then we do have a couple of our former winners here, our Treehouse Mountain folks from this past year. So we really appreciate you guys coming up this morning. Got Brian back there. I think we'll hear from Brian in a minute, so I won't get too in depth there. And then our host today with the coffee and all that, Brittany, was one of our winners many, many years ago. How long has it been? It's been 6 years.
18 or 19.
It's been a while. It's been a while. I told Brittany this morning she was actually in it when the prize money was fairly low, and we've gotten a whole lot more out of her than we did her. So thank you so much, Brittany. She's been a judge. This is your 4th year being a judge, something like that, 3rd or 4th year. So yeah, we definitely have gotten a return on that investment for sure. So thank you so much. Again, we appreciate y'all being here. I don't know, did I thank the chamber?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, so I need to thank the chamber. I know we had Lynn from the Polk County Chamber here earlier, but I think she had to cut out. She had something over at Cleveland State. So we appreciate them being here. They hosted us for a ribbon cutting down at the pavilion. Gosh, 3 weeks ago, I don't remember exactly. But anyway, really glad y'all are here. I'm going to turn it over to the co-creator of ID Elite Grant and let him get into some of the details. Ryan?
Hey everybody, again, thank you so much for being here. I'm tasked today with giving some details out about what's going on with our program and some special announcements that we're making. So first and foremost, we are definitely continuing to do 3 different pitch competitions, as Tommy alluded to. So we're doing North Georgia, the Ocoee region, and then Chattanooga. So we're going to keep that the same. We are keeping our prize money, so there'll be $75,000 given out in just this region. 30, 15, and 3 10s, which is awesome. So somebody's walking away with $30,000 come the spring. So speaking of that, we realized we are kicking this off today, and applications are going live tomorrow morning. That's what's very important about what's going on today. We're kicking off application season, and they will be open for 30 days. So we have 30 days to get the word out, get applications in, get folks excited about what's going on, even though the program's not until May, and that's because we go through this process of Idea Leap. It's not just an application and a pitch competition. There's so much more that goes into it. And I'm going to bring Brian up here in just a second to talk about that process that he went through, that we feel like it's more than just writing checks to these entrepreneurs. Something else that's really cool. So our big announcement here, every year that we've done a COE region, we've done a live pitch competition at the Pie Center. Unfortunately, that's going away this year, but we have something even more exciting. We are going to be partnering with Channel 3, and we're actually doing a live television broadcast of Idea Leap this year. So the pitch competition will be live on TV. So we're in here with Idea Leap, and it's cool to see that Idea Leap has grown from our years ago with 10 pitches in one location on a stage that was about, I don't know, a foot high off the ground, and a microphone that we rolled in with a handheld mic with a speaker system, to seeing this thing getting broadcasted live on TV, which is super, super cool for us who've been a part of it since inception. So again, we're really grateful. The criteria is still going to be the same, so we're going to have at least one other employee in the business that is, the owner can count, so it can be a part-time seasonal employee. Marcus always jokes, grandmother, aunt, aunt, somebody who helps you in the business. But we want to see that you're investing in your business with somebody else. We're going to cap the revenue again this year at $2.5 million, so no more than $2.5 million in gross revenue to the business, and you need to be in business at least 12 months consecutively creating revenue. Marcus yesterday reiterated this in Chattanooga. We have had some LLCs that have been in business since 2016, where they were registered with the Secretary of State, but they haven't really started their business. They haven't started producing revenue. So we want to see 12 months in business of creating revenue. Now, we may not have a net income there, but we want to be producing revenue. So we know that's the startup world. So we're going to ask Brian to come up. Brian with Direct Primary Care to tell you a little bit about what he went through in his process and what you can expect as you go through the process, and tell folks what to go through, what they can expect as they go through. Brian?
Thank you. I appreciate that a bunch. The process, and I'm glad that you pointed out the outline of what it takes to be eligible to do this. Because so many companies out there, are doing their best to do the best for our communities. The process itself is not as cumbersome, it's not as hard, and you're not alone. Within this program itself, there's so many people that you have access to that can help you along, and did with us as well. Everything from former winners to the people within the program themselves, the PR folks. So the process itself is not as cumbersome as you would think. The worst part of it is actually standing up in front of everybody and talking like I am right now. And it's funny because I talked to the Treehouse folks, a little bit earlier, and they were like, "Oh gosh, it's nerve-wracking," and so that's the hardest part. The hardest part is talking about what it is that you do. And really throughout this process, if you're thinking about even putting in for this, and we all know that it's a great idea and who it helps and what it's all about, but the process itself, if you think about it, is just letting your community know who you are and what it is that you do and why it is that you do it. And this is a wonderful stage on top of everything else. TVFCU puts so much money into the marketing of this. So just being a part of this process, being a part of the LEAP grant process, while you might have to do some paperwork and you might have to do some things that feels uncomfortable to you, all right? What we all struggle with, everybody struggles with in the small business community, is getting our names out there and having somebody vouch for us. And that's exactly what TVFCU is doing. Whether you win or not, they're saying, hey, these are some great companies within this community who are doing great things, and everybody look at them. Look at what it is that they're doing. I want to say just real quickly what TVFCU has done for us. I always think of a ripple effect and how a little thing goes a long way, and if you just have somebody who believes in you. And the judges who voted for us believed in us. And I'm really proud to report that when we started, we're a small company. We started out of our own pocket and we didn't take out any loans, and we were just working really, really hard to get the word out that there's a different way to do healthcare. And that's what we do at Direct Primary Care Associates. But we wanted more. There had to be more. And so we were working on a pharmacy program for well over 2.5 years. And we just couldn't get it off the ground because it cost so much just to get started. A ridiculous amount of money to get started. But we still work towards that goal. Along comes Idealeap, and we were short about $30,000. We might have been a year too early. But we were short about $30,000 to get this off the ground, and we were the grand prize winner at $25,000, so that we were able to start our pharmacy program that cost our patients, the people that we had, nothing. We did not want to go up in our price, because that's what happens everywhere. You know, you get more, you pay more. We want to try our best to mitigate that. So anyhow, we got our pharmacy program up and off the ground, and just since then, and met with my team yesterday, the $25,000 and the ripple effect that that's had with Direct Primary Care Associates, us, but the community in which we serve, and the people in which we serve. The people that we serve are mostly companies, mostly small businesses who don't have access to health care, can't afford health care, and need something for their people, besides nothing. We have saved the companies that we serve, which are now around 140 companies that are scattered throughout Southeast Tennessee and Northwest Georgia, $2.1 million in just the pharmacy spend alone. $25,000 becomes over $2 million because of that ripple effect. But also that ripple effect, and what we've been able, in our growth, that we've been able to do too, is a lot of people still can't afford insurance, even with us. And we don't want people not to have something. Because again, we take care of the primary care stuff, but also that $25,000 has now led us to, we have a partnership with a company called Sedera that does community cost sharing. That now with people who don't have insurance, and it's not insurance, it's a cost sharing, but if something catastrophic happens to those folks who are with us who don't have insurance, for around $200 a month or so, they now have coverage for surgeries, hospitalizations, if you get cancer, the bad stuff. So again, $25,000 is changing entire communities through pharmacy, access to health care, and that's just our story. And I know there's so many more. There's so many more. I appreciate the opportunity TVFCU has given us. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much, and your outfit is on point. I don't know if you can tell. That outfit's looking pretty good. But what Brian just said is exactly why we do what we do, and why Tommy and I sat at a desk 7 or 8 years ago and talked about what we can do to help boost our community, and this is definitely something that has taken off and is working. As you can see, we're investing in our community, and one word we continue to say is this is not just a grant giveaway, this is an investment. This is an investment in the company. So I'm going to finish this with, I'm going to bring up Marcus Johnson. We call him Mr. Ideally. Marcus manages the program for us day in and day out. I know there are questions that we missed. I know there's things we talked about that you guys want to know that are in your head. So this is what this time's about. Ask questions. What can we do for you? Marcus is going to sit up here, finish this off, and take questions, Q&A, and see if we can wrap this thing up and get this kickoff started the right way tomorrow. Marcus?
Thanks, Ryan. All right, so as Ryan said earlier, applications open tomorrow. Ideally, it's all about relationships. That's how this thing has been built. We have not been able to do this without our collaborators and community partners, both in Chattanooga, Northwest Georgia, and here in Bradley County. And so Jenny the Cook has been a consistent partner of the program, both for the grant piece and for our Ideally Loan Program. And I've been made aware that you are doing several workshops to help entrepreneurs understand how to complete the application. So we're going to post that information on our website. So thank you, Jenny, for taking the lead on that and making sure that folks really have an opportunity to understand how to complete a successful application. So the applications close Monday, November the 4th at 5 p.m. Monday, November the 4th at 5 p.m. One thing that we did to absolutely improve the experience of each entrepreneur, in the past, entrepreneurs had to go, sit down at the computer, and complete the application all in one sitting. On the back end, what that meant is we had a bunch of numbers on our system of abandoned applications, right? So a bunch of folks sat down and said, screw this, I can't do this right now, right? And so what we've been able to do is upgrade our application system. So now folks can kind of go in, create a username, create a password, and complete the application at their leisure. So for us, that's a big deal, right? Because it takes some of the pressure off of having to sit down and answer all these questions right now. So you have 30 days to complete the application using our new platform. So we really believe that entrepreneurs are going to enjoy that particular feature. Ryan went over some of the qualifications earlier. I'll just reiterate those. You have to have at least 2 employees. One can be the owner, volunteer, seasonal worker. Anybody else can kind of be a part of that process in terms of being an employee over the last year. Also, revenue cap, $2.5 million is the maximum. We do that intentionally, right, to be hyper-focused on making sure that these dollars get to true small business owners. So we want you guys to really understand that. The quarterfinalists will be selected on December the 9th. Quarterfinalists will be selected on December the 9th. I'll be reaching out to some folks here to be second review judges. So what that means is that you will help us score the initial applications that come into the credit union. So we'll be adding you guys to our platform. You'll be reading through the applications and helping us select who will ultimately be our quarterfinalists for this particular region. So with that, I will pause and take any questions, comments, thoughts, or concerns right now.
Do you have to be a member to apply?
No, you do not have to be a member to apply. So one of the cool things about our grants, there are truly no strings attached, right? This is not a gotcha grant, right? Where we're gonna follow up with someone in 30, 60, 90 days to make sure that they're doing everything they said in their application. You do not have to be a member. So we, of course, want small business owners to become members. And we've been successful in this particular region of actually acquiring new small business members through our grant. But no, it is not a requirement. It is open to non-members and members alike. We will deposit the monies into a TVFCU small business checking account, and then the business owner, if for some crazy reason they don't want to stay with us, they can absolutely take those monies and take it to their primary financial institution. But we know, because we have great lenders and a great team, that we'll convert a lot of those folks. Any other questions?
Is there a cap of how long they have been in business?
No, there's no cap on how long you've been in business. You have to be in business at least a year, generating revenue consecutively at the time that you apply, but there's no cap in terms of how old the business is. The only cap that we have is a $2.5 million maximum gross revenue. Yep.
Can the business be a nonprofit?
No. And this year's application, if you select you're a nonprofit, it'll just tell you to go away and never come back. It won't say never come back. But it doesn't say that. But no, you have to be a for-profit business. And the reasoning behind that is really for nonprofits generally get the most grant opportunities, and there is not always a ton of grant opportunities for small business owners. We get that question every year, and every now and then we'll get a nonprofit that kind of slips through the cracks. But no, you have to be a for-profit business to be eligible to apply for Ideal. The other thing that I want to call out is that I'm sure everybody in here knows a business or two that has applied multiple times. Please encourage those folks to continue to apply. Our winner in Chattanooga last year, Southern Soul Yoga, Jenna Wright, mentioned that she applied 3 times. Last year was her 3rd time applying. So if you run across anyone who's like, oh yeah, I did that a couple years ago, they never picked me, encourage them to apply, right? Because you never know, this year could be their year. The other thing I often tell folks also is it is totally okay for folks to keep their previous grant application answers, update them, make it relevant, and submit it. It's not as time intensive as the second time around. So if you run into that feedback where I did it in 2019, I did it in 2020, they won't pick me, they don't like me, encourage them. It's not personal, you know, but it's very competitive, right? Last year we crept up pretty close to 400 applications. So as you can imagine, right, everybody has a story, everybody has an ask. So it's very, very competitive. And it's a tough process, but we really would like for people to continue to apply. It doesn't cost a lot of time. We're making it much easier with our online platform to get folks in. So if you guys would just help us share the word, spread the word, we would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Any other questions? Tommy's walking up, so that means...
Where do we apply?
TVFCU.com/IdeaLead. You can also follow us on Facebook. The link will be there. Instagram, if you don't already follow us, please follow us on Facebook and Instagram. But the applications will go live tomorrow morning. The links will be on all three of those platforms. So thank you guys for coming this morning. Thank you to Mix 104 for supporting us. We really appreciate it. And I'll let Tommy take us out. Thank you.
I know we all got places to go, so I won't keep you much longer. I do want to emphasize what Marcus said about multiple applications. I can tell you, 2 years before that, Coco Asante in Chattanooga applied 3 times. R&J Tactical, one of our winners that same year, applied 4 times. We have had people, many of our winners and finalists have applied multiple times. So please, please encourage folks. I know it's discouraging to spend all that time and get in it and then not make it. I understand that. We have had some folks that have come through and won the very first time. I think Brianna Garza with Taste Food Tours won the first time. Brittany came through the first time. Actually, it was the second year, so you couldn't have had a whole lot of folks with multiple applications. But please, please encourage them to apply again. Circumstances change. I tell them I see all these Tennessee things around here. I probably shouldn't admit this, but I got 2 kids at the University of Georgia right now. I went to the University of Georgia, and yeah, I know that's like, oh shoot, we're gonna walk out now. But the applicant pool to get into Georgia changes every year, right? It gets easier or harder based off of your major and number of other applications and kids applying and dropping out. That's true here too. The dynamics change every year. So please encourage folks, 1, to apply if they haven't applied before, and apply again if they have. The only ones we don't want to apply again would be the nonprofits that have applied in the past, because we haven't changed that criteria. But please have them apply again. We're so grateful that y'all came out today, this morning, early. Again, Brittany, thank you so very much for the food and coffee. We really appreciate Terra Running Company and the coffee shop. She's also chairman of the chamber, so I don't know if she had anything to do with allowing us here or not. So, we see Brittany around and about all the time. Really appreciate that. But thank you so much. Again, applications open tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. They close November the 4th at 5 p.m. sharp. I mean, when I tell you 5 p.m. sharp, I mean 5 p.m. sharp. Thank you so much. Y'all have a terrific Thursday.